Bronze Age jar smashed by 4-year-old boy back on display at Israeli museum. The jar in question predates the time of Kings David and Solomon. An ancient jar is back on display at a museum in Israel, nearly 2 weeks after a 4-year-old visitor accidentally smashed it late last month. The jar dated back to the Bronze Age, between 2200 and 1500 B.C., predating the time of Kings David and Solomon, and it was totally intact, making it a rare find and a valuable artifact. While on display at the Hecht Museum in Haifa, the pint-sized visitor pulled on the artifact to see what was inside, and that caused it to fall over and shatter into pieces. The Associated Press reported that Alex Geller, the boy's father, described his son, the youngest of 3, as exceptionally curious. When Geller heard the crash, he confessed, "The first thought to race through his head was, 'Please, let that not be my child.'" The museum immediately appointed a specialist to restore the jar so it could be returned to its spot near the front entrance of the museum. On Wednesday, the jar was back on display after being pieced together and restored. Oftentimes, when archaeologists piece together artifacts, they face the daunting task of sifting through piles of shards of multiple objects. But in this case, the repairs were expected to be fairly simple because the pieces were from a single and complete jar, museum restoration expert Rocher said. Using 3D technology, high-resolution videos, and special glue, experts were able to reconstruct a large jar. A few pieces were missing, and the gluing process left a few hairline cracks, but the impressive size of the jar remains. The only major difference now is there is a new sign near the jar that reads, "Please don't touch." Now that it is back on display, museum director Inbel Rivlin and the museum decided to turn the incident into a teachable moment and invited the Geller family back for a special hands-on visit to illustrate the restoration process.